Okay, so this is our second problem session on sets, and we will start with subsets of R that are called intervals. There are a few types of intervals. The first one is the open interval, and it is denoted by the symbol AB. It is not the ordered pair AB. This notation means it is the set of all real numbers which lie between A and B. Okay. So in the real line, you can view it like this, or A may be in the negative part. So all the elements which are between A and B is given by first bracket AB. Number 2 is, it is the closed interval. And it is denoted by third brackets, and it is defined to be the collection of all real numbers which are between A and B, but in this case it will be less or equal to, means A and B will also be included in the set. Okay, so in the real line again you will see it like something like this, means A and B are also included in the set, and here A and B are excluded from the set. Number 3, these are called semi-open or semi-closed. Intervals, and these are defined by one first bracket and one third bracket. So like this. So in this case, this will be a combination of first less and lesser equal to. So we can write it like, see, whenever there is a first bracket, it comes with an inequality, means strictly less than equality, strictly less than sign, and whenever it is a third bracket, it comes with a less or equality. So here both are present, so we can write A less than X less or equals to B. That means in the real line, A will not be included in the set, but B will be included in the set. Similarly, there is another notation, that is closed A, open B. Means it is the collection of all the real numbers where AB, where A is included in the set and B is not included. So in the real line, we will see it like this. All the real numbers from A and which ends before B, that doesn't include B. Number 4 is the rays. These are called rays. Rays are defined by one side will be infinity or minus infinity, and the other side will be a fixed real number. So if rays are there, there will be two types of rays. One is open ray, one is closed. Let me write it in the top. So there are two types of rays. Number 1 is called the open ray, and it is defined to be the interval like this. And since there is a first bracket, we define it like it is a collection of all real numbers which are less than. Since it is only the strictly less than sign, that's why it is being the open ray. And another one is this A infinity. So it will be the collection of all the real numbers which are greater than A. And the next type is the closed rays, and these are defined with the closed brackets. That means one is this, it is minus infinity to A, and it is defined to be the collection of all real numbers which are less or equal to a. You can say in this interval the maximum number which lies in the interval is a itself, and the other one is this. It is closed in the side of a and open in infinity. So it is again the collection of all real numbers which are greater or equals to a. So these four types of rays are there. Since if we draw them in the real line, you will see if there is a and we are considering the closed ray, then it will be something like this. So in this way it is continuously going to minus infinity. That's why it is called a ray, like a ray of light. It will go up to infinity. And also if you take this one, it will look like this. So it is going up to plus infinity continuously. So that's why it is called the closed ray. One side is closed and the other side is open up to infinity. Similarly, if you take the open ray, it will look like, say A is here. So we won't take A, take just the next point to A, and it will go up to minus infinity. And also for the open ray A infinity, this will go up to plus infinity from A. After A, it will not include the point A. So these sets are called rays. Next we will see some set operations using intervals. We often see these kind of intervals as the solution set for inequalities. When we will do it, we will see, we will express the solution sets like these intervals. Also when we do functions, we will see that the real value functions have their domains, like domain and range, in this form of intervals. So they are very much useful in mathematics. Okay, so suppose we are trying to find the union of these two semi-open intervals, AB and CB. Okay, so first let us do it with numbers. It will be better. So first of all, we are trying to find the union of these two. Say, okay, the 3, 4. So in the real line, they will look like this: 0, 2, 3, 4. So we are taking closed one. Sorry, we are taking closed one and open 2, and then we are taking closed 3, open 4. So one thing we can say about them, that these are infinite sets, number 1. These are infinite sets, and number 2, they are disjoint. Okay, so this will be the union of this and this. Now see, we are not including the point 2 here, and we are not including the point 4 here. So we can write this just as it is. Okay, we can write this in this form also. Say x is 1 less or equals to x less than 2, and 3 less or equals to x less than 4. See, these intervals always will be in one piece. Since this is not a one piece set, this cannot be written as one interval. Okay? So there is a gap between these two intervals, so we cannot express the whole interval as one. So that's why we will write it like this. If you want to find the intersection, since they are disjoint, their intersection will be nothing but 5. Similarly, if you want to find the intersection of say 1, 2 and the union say 0, 3 by 2, so then they will look like this. Say this one is 0, 1, 2 and in the interim it will be 3 by 2. So we are taking this one 0 to 3 by 2 and 1 to 2. You see, if you take the union, it will take all the points up to minus from 0 up to minus up to 2. So then we can write it like 0 and 2. So 0 closed and 2 open. And if you want to find the intersection, it will be like, see, this part will be the intersection from 1 to 3 by 2. So we will write the intersection as 1 to 3 by 2 open, closed 1, 3 by 2 open. Okay, so one thing you see, if these are the intervals, then if they are intersecting, if the intervals are intersecting, then their union will be found as the left hand point will be the minimum number for the left hand points of the given intervals. Here it is 0 and it is 1. The minimum is 0, so that's why it is coming here. And for the right hand point, we will take the maximum one for the two right hand points of the given intervals. So here it is 3 by 2 and 2. The maximum is 2, so that's why it is coming here, because it will be in the farthest left right corner. And for the case of intersections, we will see always for the left hand side which one is the maximum value for the left hand points of the given intervals. So here the left hand points are 0 and 1, and 1 is the maximum, so 1 is coming here for this. And for the right hand points, we have to take the minimum value for the right hands of the given intervals. So here 2 and 3 by 2 are the right hand points, and the minimum one is 3 by 2, so that's why it is coming 3 by 2. So anyhow, for the intersection we have to take the smaller one, and for the union we have to cover all the region. So to cover up all the region, we have to take the minimum value for the left hand side and maximum value for the right hand side. And for the intersection, we have to take the maximum value for the left hand side and minimum value for the right hand side. That's why these are common. So in general, we can say this: if we are finding the union of AB CD, then, and it is given, say that A is less than C and B is less than D. Suppose we are showing it in the real line. Suppose here it is A, then it is C, then it is B, then it is D. So clearly here A is less than C and B is less than D. So whenever we take the union, we will take the leftmost corner. So it is A, and since A is with the third bracket, we will include A in the interval. And for the right hand corner, it will be B, and this is open. So here this will be the right hand corner. Also we can write it like minimum of A and C and maximum of B and D. Always remember, this will hold only for intersecting intervals. If they are not intersecting, this will not hold. Okay, and for the intersections, we can write, for the intersection, this will be the intersection. So we will take C and B here, because this is coming in the intersection. So C, we can write it like C comma B, and this can be written as the maximum or AC and the minimum of B and D. That's how they are coming. If they are only open or closed intervals, then their union and intersection will also be in the same pattern or in the same form. They will also be open or closed intervals according to the given ones. If they are semi-open and semi-closed, usually they becomes semi-open or semi-closed. So this is the union and the intersection of intervals. Okay, so the next one comes, it is associated with the number of elements. Previously we have seen that for any finite set we denote n of a as the number of elements in A. And also we have seen some formulas regarding this topic, that is n of A union B, n of A difference B, n of A complement. We have seen all this. Okay, this stands for A Na plus Nb minus n of A intersection B. This stands for Na minus n of A intersection B. This stands for n of U, that is the universal set, minus n of A. U being the universal set. So now let us find the formula for A union B union C and the higher ones, means the union of 4 set and 5 set and all this. Okay, so see here, if you draw the Venn diagram, you have to take all the elements in A union B union C. So first of all we will take A, B, C, the whole thing. So n of A, n of B and n of C. And now we will deal with the intersections. So see, whenever you are taking the set A, this intersection is taken once, and for B again it is taken. So it is taken 2 times, so we are subtracting 1 time. And okay, we are subtracting it 1 time. Again, when we are taking B, this intersection is also taken, that is B intersection C. And when C is taken, it is again taken twice. So we will subtract it 1 time. And also the same case with A and C, the intersection of A and C is taken 2 times. So again we subtract it 1 times. But see, for this case, this portion, the intersection of A, B, C is subtracted 1 time, it is subtracted 4 times. Because when we are taking A, it is taken once. It is when we take B, it is taken once. When we take C, it is taken once. For these 3 subtraction, it is subtracted 3 times, but is not even taken in the union. So that's why we have to again add it 1 time so that it comes in the formula. So this is the formula for A union B union C. First of all, we will take the sum of Na, Nb, Nc. Then we will subtract the intersections of 2 sets, and then we add the intersection of all 3 sets. So if it is like the union of 4 sets, then we can write, we will take the sets first, Nb, Nc, Nd. Then we will subtract all the intersections, A intersection B, A intersection C, A intersection D, and B intersection C, B intersection D, and C intersection D. So these are all the intersections of two sets. Now we will add all the intersections of three sets. So in ABC, in ABD, in BCD, okay, ACD, then comes in BCD, and finally we will subtract the intersection of all. So in ABCD. That's how the formula comes in the general case. So first we will take all the sets, then subtract the intersection of 2, then add the intersection of 3, then subtract the intersection of 4, then add the intersection of 5. In this way it will go for n number of sets. Okay. Now we have some problems regarding these formulas. Let us see them. Okay, so this is our problem. It says that a school awarded 42 medals in hockey, 18 in basketball and 23 in cricket. If these medals were bagged by total of 65 students and only 4 of them got medals in all 3 sports, then how many students received medals in exactly 2 of the 3 games? So these kind of problems we can deal with the concept of set theory. So we'll take 3, see here the idea is like this, we'll take 3 sets regarding the students who got medals in hockey, the students who got medals in basketball and the students who got medals in cricket. Now it is given that all the medals were bagged by only 65 students. That means this is the union of all the 3 sets. That is the students who got medals in hockey, who got medals in basketball, who got medals in cricket. Their union is this 65. And also there are 4 students who got medals in all the sports, all the 3 sports. So that means that 4 will be in the intersection of the 3 type. And clearly you can see for each of the sports the total number is much more than this 65. That means there are intersection of any 2 types of sets, any 3 types of sets. So that thing is here. So applying the formula for A union B union C, we will find the required answer here. So first of all we consider H, the set of students who received medal in hockey. The same goes for basketball, that is B. Same goes for cricket also, that is C. In cricket. So if this is the 3 sets, what are their numbers? You can say n of H is 42, n of B is 18 and n of C is 23. Also from this, that is the total students, we can write n of H union B union C is 65, and since 4 students got medals in all 3 sports, we can write the intersection is 4. Now with this information we have to find how many students received medals in exactly 2 of the 3 sports. So if we draw the Venn diagram for H, B and C, we will see we have to find this region that contains students who got only medals in 2 sports, exactly 2 sports. So if you take this portion, the intersection of all three, this will give, this will include all include students who got medals in all the 3 sports. So we can't include that region. Also not these regions. Say this one is H, this is B, and this is C. So we cannot also include these parts because these are giving only one sports. So we have to include only these 3 regions. So if we can find the intersection of any 2 sets, that means H intersection B, B intersection C, and H intersection C, then since it is given, we can find the regions this and this. Because if you take H intersection B and subtract H intersection B intersection C, that will give us only the number of players who got medals in hockey and baseball. Okay, and similarly the other cases. So let us see how we can do it. So first of all, you are drawing the region and deciding which region is our required one, and then you are writing the formula for the union of 3. That means you can write here n of H plus n of B plus n of C minus the intersections of 2, that means H intersection B, H intersection C, and B intersection C. Then you are adding the intersection of all 3, and this will be 65. So if you put the values, you will get something like this: 42 plus 18 plus 23 minus, I am taking the intersections of 2 in a bracket, so it will become plus, and there is a 4 for the intersection of 3, and this becomes 65. So let us see what is coming then. So then we can say n of H intersection B, n of B intersection C plus n of H intersection C is equal to this quantity, 65 minus 4. Okay, sorry. So we are taking this part in the right hand side and 65 in the left hand side. So it will be 42 plus 18 plus 23 plus 4 minus 65. See how much it is coming? 42 plus 18 is 60. Then 23 means 83. And 487. So 87 minus 65 is 22. And now see, since we have taken all these 3, so this intersection is considered 3 times. So we subtract it 3 times so that we get the required region. So we can write our required answer as this whole thing, that is H intersection B, B intersection C, H intersection C minus 3 times the intersection of all. So it is minus 3 times the intersection of all. So this is 22 minus 3 into 4. That means 22 minus 12, it is 10. So there will be 10 students who got medals in exactly 2 of the 3 sports. That's how we solve these problems. Let us come to the next one. Okay, so this is our next question. That in a survey of 100 students, the students studying various languages are found like this. Only English, 18 students. English but not Hindi, 23 students. English and Sanskrit, 8 students. Sanskrit and Hindi, 8 students. And then English, 26. And Sanskrit, 48. And no language for 24 students. So to find the number of students studying Hindi only, studying Hindi not only, and number of students studying English and Hindi. So see, here it is given English only and it is English. That means if you take the sets E, H and S for English, Hindi and Sanskrit, and you draw the regions, then it is saying that this region is for English only, and the whole region E is a set English. So that means here will be 18 students, and in the whole it will be 26 students. That you have to remember. So let us take E as the students studying English. H gives the students studying Hindi, and S is the student studying Sanskrit. So what we have here, n of E is given as 26, n of S is given 48. If you take the set, the rectangle as the universal set, then we'll find it. And English but not Hindi, that means E difference H, it is given as 23. English and Sanskrit means E intersection S, it is given as 8. Sanskrit and Hindi means S intersection H is given as 8, and no language, that means it is the complement of the union. It is given as 24. And we have to find what? Students who are studying Hindi, that means we have to find n of H, that means this one. And number of students studying English and Hindi, that means the intersection. So we have to find these two. One is n of H and one is n of E intersection H. Okay, so let us do one by one. So first of all, if you take n of E difference H, this thing how we can write? The formula is n of E minus n of E intersection H. So from that you can easily find the intersection, that is, it will be 23 here, 26 here, and this. So then easily you can say that E intersection H is equals to 26 minus 23, that is 3. And then you have to find n of H. So you have n of E intersection H, you have E intersection S, S intersection H, okay. So do we have the total number of students? Yes. It is also given that the total number of students, that is the number of elements in the universal set, it is 100, because the survey was done for 100 students. That means in the rectangular region, that is the universal set, there are 100 students. So now we can easily find the number of elements in E union H union S, and that is given by using the complement formula, n of u minus n of E union H union S, its complement. So that will be 100 minus 24. So this will be 76. So E union H union S is 76. Now see, we almost have all the terms for the formula of union, and we now find that. So see, n of E union H union S is equal to 76. That means n of E plus n of H plus n of S minus the intersections of two sets. E intersection H plus the intersection of all three, and this is 76. Now you have all the terms almost except this one. Okay. So you put the values here. N of E means 26. N of S means, okay, N of H you have to find. N of S means where it is 48 minus N of E intersection S is 8 minus N of S intersection H is 8 minus N of E intersection H is 3 plus N of E intersection S intersection H, that we also don't know. And this value becomes 76. Okay, so let us calculate this. N of H plus N of E intersection H intersection S is equals to how much? 76 minus 26 minus 48 plus 8 plus 8 plus 3. That becomes, it is 50 minus 48 plus 16 and 3, 90. This becomes 2, so it is 21. So basically we have to find the value of E intersection H intersection S, so that we can find the value of N of H. Now see how that we can find. Okay, I am erasing the Venn diagram. Okay, so see, another thing was given, that English only. So if this one is done, so I am erasing it, this one also. So if the Venn diagram is like this is E, H, S. So English, only English means this region. So that thing we can write like this. English only is equal to N of E, means all the elements in E. When we are subtracting the intersection of E and H, then P and S. Now see, if we subtract these two regions, one is this and one is this, then this intersection of all three is subtracted 2 times, but we need it to be subtracted only 1 time. So that's why we again add it once. So the English only is given and it is 18. Then n of E is 26. N of E intersection we have found to be 3. N of E intersection is given and the value was 8. And finally the intersection of all. So this gives 18 plus 8 plus 3 minus 26. 18, 8, 26 and 26, 26 cancel out, so it's 3. So in the intersection of all 3 there are 3 elements. So if you get this value from here, you can get the number of elements in each easily. This becomes 18. So that's how we solve this type of problems. So this is the way we apply the formula for the number of elements. Okay, so this was the problem session, and I think now you can solve this type of problems in sets. So an assignment will be given in the description. The link will be there. You download it and try to solve it. In a few days you will get the solutions in the same place.